All right, we're back. So this is part two of of the Improptu Podcast with me and Andrew and some other folks. I'm not even sure. What was it on Twitch? So there's 4 people watching on Twitch for some reason. Don't know why.
I told you, I brought people over from the
Yeah.
RCFB Discord.
Yeah, man, that's nice. Gosh, what was it? Let me see if I got NCAA football on this thing. At least a version of it.
Is everyone still with us? Give me some sort of an emote or something if you can still hear us.
Emote. NCAA football. Come on, give it to me. Was it? If not, I can try and see if I can find an old NCAA football someplace. Like a N64. There might have been an N64 one.
Probably.
Or Sega Dreamcast. I don't even know. What was it?
Rhymes, by the way, Mikey.
I remember. What was it? Man, I remember back when I was in Florida State. That was like all
last century.
Yeah, way back in 2011, 10, and all that stuff. Like, man, that was all people would play when that came out.
Yeah, and a lot of current NCAA players say that they miss being able to play as themselves. It's interesting because...
yes, I do. I do have NCAA football 2009.
I forget, was that the Tebow year?
Tebow? That one? 2009? Might have been like...
Who was the cover athlete? I'm looking that up.
2010 or 2011 might have been Tebow.
NCAA football 09 was...
That bastard. That
Drum roll, please. That was some guy from Arkansas. Was that Darren McFadden?
Yeah?
Cover. Yep, Darren McFadden.
Really? Man, that's a long time ago.
For the 360, the PS3 version was Matt Ryan. PS2 was Deshaun Jackson. And Owen Schmidt from West Virginia was on the PSP. And then on the Wii was Michigan State's Sparty, the mascot.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, all the Wii ones got...
That was definitely a console designed for and marketed toward kids.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of the par for the course as a Wii owner, and I was a sole Wii owner. Like I just own one console. I can only afford one console. Okay. Because if I own a console, I basically go all in with all the games and stuff. I own a ton of Wii games, like an ungodly amount of Wii games, as evidenced by my library on this hard drive. I'm trying to get this game running, but I don't have an actual Wii remote controller connected to my computer, so I gotta find a way to adapt this so I can play some NCAA football. Gosh.
Our viewer count is rising again.
So, what was it? Did you see that trick play?
Yes.
Where the guy pretended to get a fair catch and then just took off running?
That was a huge topic of discussion in the in the subreddit when that happened.
Why? To see if he actually did call a fair catch or not, or what?
Oh no, just because it was awesome.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. What about Old Dominion?
The subreddit blew up with that one. I was actually, I was watching it and chatting along on the Discord, and man, it was. We have this thing called Team Chaos, which is
that sounds like an Overwatch team, but sure.
it's kind of it's kind of like a minor affiliation where you're always looking for chaotic things to happen.
Yeah, okay, I can get behind that.
4chan versus Nebraska when an unstoppable pole force meets an immovable pole.
That's funny. Gosh, man, you know it. You know, as much as Florida State's whatever, man, it must suck to be a Nebraska fan right now. I mean,
there was a fantastic tweet from Wendy's, and yes, I'm talking about.
Yeah, of course, Wendy's sick burns.
I want to find exactly what it said, and I'll send the link over to you so you can put it up on the screen. I'm not cool like that.
I think I'm about to get up and running NCAA college football 2K3. So there's 2K3. So who won the national championship in that year?
I believe that was Ohio State.
Was that wasn't the UM one, right?
Yeah.
That was that one, the one that Hurricanes fans keep complaining about?
They have a legitimate gripe. Have you seen that?
Yeah, okay, whatever. In the 1985, the Cardinals should have won the World Series, but guess what? There was no replay and all that stuff, so just suck it up.
Or like the 99 Stanley Cup.
All right, Trocheck was tripped in 2016. You know, I'm still getting over it, but you know, I accept it now. The Islanders lost to Tavares. It's all good now. And we still have our players. So in the end, it sucks for New York.
Okay, so here's the tweet from Wendy's. And the reason this came up was because they were losing 49-0 at the time to Michigan. They said, might need a Scott Frosty to ice down the beating Nebraska is taking.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's...
I summarily went out and got a Frosty later that evening.
You know, well, Nebraska, gosh, man, they've gone, I don't even know how to fix them. You know, there are certain teams out there, like in all sports, that you just like, man, how do you fix this? Like, it's so many years of just, like, gosh. The Orlando Magic, that's one. I know that they're a team that is just like, how do you fix that team? They've been so bad for so long.
Whoever runs Wendy's Twitter account needs a raise. They need to be paid as much as the CEO.
No, whoever runs the Wendy's account. The Arby's account is actually pretty awesome too.
They are. They actually bought out Sonic, believe it or not.
Oh, wow. Really?
Because I'm afraid.
I didn't know Arby's made that much money. You know, because when was the last time I ate at Arby's? Probably earlier this year.
There's not a lot of them in Florida, or in South Florida at least.
I mean, there's one here where I live that's actually close by. I ate there all the time at one point, but then I kind of got sick of them. I've seen 2 Arby's in Miami, and I know there's one in West Palm Beach that I.
Oh, Arby's owns B-Dubs as well?
Huh?
Wow.
Okay, Arby's is making sick cash then. I wouldn't have known that they would have made that much money, but they must be doing something right. Was it? I was listening on freaking sports radio, and they were just talking about Old Dominion beating Vlad Tech, and they were the guys were first off, embarrassed for Virginia Tech for even losing that game, but some of them were even like questioning why they even put that on their schedule, like why they agreed to go over to, I don't even know, where is Old Dominion? Where's
Also in Virginia.
There. Oh, okay. I guess maybe they kind of just felt like taking a trip to some other city, and not only did they get embarrassed nationally, they got embarrassed in their state.
Exactly.
So like, you know, Old Dominion fans can hold it over their heads in any sort of manner whatsoever. Like if you have like in court, you could have a public defender who went to Old Dominion and the state attorneys from Virginia Tech, and I guess the judge would just side with the other guy from Old Dominion, just be like, look, you made some great compelling arguments, but how'd you guys lose that game? You know, like, gosh, I don't know if it's on par with Virginia losing to a number 16 seed.
It's not.
Because that was more historic than anything else. I mean, Appalachian State beat Michigan, so I mean,
that is the closest thing that college football has to what Virginia suffered to UMBC.
Yeah. I mean,
that was the number 5 team in the country.
Yeah. Going
up against not just an unranked team, an unranked team from FCS. Which is
yeah, exactly. That's like if the, I don't know, the Chicago Cubs lost to a AA team. I would think.
Yeah.
Okay, there's just that much of a talent gap between one and the other. Seriously, if you're that high of a rank and you lose to that low of a rank, you might as well have. It's like 2 or 3 levels below you, in any sort of sense. You know, it's that's like losing to. Gosh. I mean, there's all kinds of things you can compare it to, really. You know? That's like a pit bull losing to a chihuahua or something, you know?
Great Dane losing to a chihuahua.
Gosh. What? Someone put something funny?
A Flimicon just brought up the Kansas-Texas game. It's a running gag because Kansas, who is arguably the complete opposite of their basketball program,
of course,
suck.
Yeah.
They beat Texas.
Yeah.
And to this day, Texas cannot live it down. No matter how good they get, there is always Kansas beat Texas.
Yeah. Yeah, there's certain programs that are just like, you know how good they are. You're just waiting for them to have their next great moment, great run of years. Like right now, I'm just waiting for Nick Saban to just retire. I think we all are. Just like, dude, just finish. Just, you know, how much more do you need?
My guess is he's got another. Let's see how old he is.
Yeah, let's see how old he is so we can start planning out. Hey Siri, how old is Nick Saban?
6 years old.
Dear Lord. Okay, so
I could see him coaching
until he's 70. In his 70s? Okay.
It wasn't so much that Texas was so favored.
That's right. I can't even make the argument against that because like Bobby Bowden coached into that. So.
Right. It wasn't so much that Texas was so favored, but it was that the last time Kansas beat Texas was in 1938. Well, UF suffered an interesting, similar fate this season. Hashtag retire Saban. Yes.
Yes. Yeah, it's time, Nick.
Nick Bill Snyder Saban.
I think the only thing Nick Saban ever did that was remotely human was he wore a Luigi hat at one point. Like, that was his one semblance of like, maybe this guy isn't from another planet.
And what
Maybe he does have a
means
soul.
by Nick Bill Snyder Saban is Kansas State's current head coach, Bill Snyder, is ancient. Or at least he looks it. I'm not sure how old he actually is.
Which program?
Kansas State.
Oh, yeah, that guy. Yeah, no, gosh.
He's 78.
Yeah. Oh, no, yeah, that guy is... I know who you're talking about, because I remember what he looks like. I'm like, yeah, that guy's still coaching. And
I think that the whole system of college football would collapse if Saban coached for another 10 years. If he coached until he was old as Snyder is right now.
Man, Alabama must have some really great bagmen, that's for sure.
Oh, I'm sure.
Just,
I mean...
Because, you cannot...
that is very true.
Like, okay... Because I remember that documentary. They were saying, like, what if college football was like any other... Like, let's say if they had the same system as baseball, okay? No salary cap, just whatever you could afford at your school, that's what you use to get your players to come to you. Like, you could have these massive schools in, let's say a California school. They've got tons of money. UCLA or something like that. They could draw a bunch of people over to them if you could pay them, you know?
Mm.
Like, I could see... but I don't know. I don't know how many graduates out of Alabama could, pour money into the school through boosters and all that stuff. I don't know.
You'd be surprised.
I would... No, that's because... No, I wouldn't be surprised because I kind of already have an idea because from that documentary of, like, the fact that in Alabama, that's all they got, really,
right.
As far as anything to hang their hat on for sports.
I mean,
not trying to put down anybody from Alabama and be like, oh, well, you guys live in wherever, but just that, college football's king.
Well, I mean, they're milking it while they can because the athletic department, I think, knows that this can't last forever because they just started a new fundraising project where their goal is to raise $600 million to renovate and fix up some of their other facilities.
Huh.
And yes, $600 million.
$600 million freaking dollars, dear Lord.
And then Texas A&M a couple of years ago, they pretty much rebuilt half of their stadium and added, I think, like 30-something thousand new seats. The whole thing costs, I think, $400 million.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, that's supposedly what Jimbo Fisher left for. Better facilities. But whatever, let him go. You know what? Jimbo, just go. He just went. Whatever, just leave. Go to Texas. Say, go with the Aggies and have fun not beating Nick Saban. That's all. That's how I felt when he left. I'm just like, all right, go out there and have fun not winning against Nick Saban.
$500 million, Notre Dame. That makes total sense. It's a private school.
Yeah, private Catholic school, and just so much history. You know what? I guess you just have. Have you ever seen John Mulaney?
Yes.
Did you see his last stand-up special on Netflix? The one he did in I think was it Carnegie Hall or whatever in New York?
Yeah.
And he had this joke about college. Basically, that his college, you know how every college comes at you after you graduate with like, "Hey, remember us? Why don't you donate money to us?" And he's like, "I gave you $120,000. I already gave you $120,000. Okay, and you gave me my piece of paper that I needed, and now you come back to me asking for more money. Did you spend it all? What did you spend it all on?" You know, basically that colleges are like, you know, just like that relative that, you know, you give money to and then you just realize, man, how you were supposed to like use that for something good, not for whatever. Like, I have never look. I'm a graduate of 4 different colleges. And I'm not donating it. I'm not donating a cent to any of them. Okay, I'll go to the games. I'll go watch a football game or a basketball game, or heck, I might even indulge in a good old baseball game every once in a while if I ever felt like going back to FIU to watch one of those things. But no, I'm not gonna. I'm still paying my student loans, and I will pay them off until I'm 60. So I'm not donating any more money.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if people really want to boost money for the college football program, so be it. Go Noles, you know. But I'm just not going to be pitching in because I've pitched in enough. Okay, I bought the shirts. I think that's enough contribution to the school. I bought a shirt. I have like a little decal in my car. So this Florida State's, you're all right. Okay, I'm nothing more. I'm not gonna ask anything out of the goodness of my heart. If I want to have a hat with your logo on it, that'll be my choice, not because you guys asked me to.
Omicron says that he's in his second school right now, and he might go to a third for grad school.
Yeah.
I actually think I'm in kind of a similar situation, and you'll think I'm insane, Francisco, but I actually do want to go back and get like an LLM or something.
Oh God, why would you do that to yourself?
And just kind of give everyone kind of a reference on the inside jokes. Francisco and I met in law school down at Florida International University.
Go Panthers.
The Golden Panthers.
Nah, only after you pass the bar.
So I went from UCF undergrad to FIU law school, and then for some reason I feel the need to go back to school for another law degree.
Dude, I can't, you know, I just can't. I will not. I still owe enough money to these people already. I'm just not. I need to work. I just need to work, man. I just need to work and make sure I can live long enough to hand over my debt to my descendants.
Well, hey, one of the easiest ways to get your student loans wiped is if you die.
That's true.
It is true. That is absolutely true.
Yeah. So that's what I'm hoping for then.
That's probably, albeit the most painful, possibly, but
depends. It doesn't have to be painful.
That's why I said possibly.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's certainly the quickest and easiest. You don't have to go through all that paperwork.
Yeah.
Wow, this took a really dark turn.
Yeah, so unless you're talking about Nick Saban, no, I'm kidding. No. Actually, you know, because people were trying to say because you know Nick Saban has his shtick of the way he looks and the way he acts and whatever, but I mean, he does do good things that we just don't hear about. I'm sure a lot of these guys do. That just you can hate on them for being so good at their jobs, but at the end of the day, they might be good people outside of that.
That's true. You never know.
Yeah.
Although Nick Saban is the collegiate version of Bill Belichick.
That is, yeah. The thing is, with Bill Belichick, I'm not even sure if Tom Brady retires, I'm really hoping that all of his Bill Belichick success was tied to him. And that as soon as he retires, they fall off the deep end. But the thing is, we have one season where Brady got injured and the Dolphins won their division in 2008, and yet the Patriots were still in the mix for winning that division. I don't remember. Was there like a three-way tie between the Dolphins, the Patriots, and like the Jets, and the Dolphins won the tiebreaker for some reason that season? I feel like that's what happened, but I'm not entirely sure. Because if it is, then that's the only reason why we won that division, and that was with
There are three Dodge dealerships in Tuscaloosa alone. Seriously?
Okay, so I'm playing NCAA 2K3. Gosh, man, an NCAA football game. Ooh, it feels so good already. Okay, I'm gonna play as a starter. We'll just play as a starter, or what? Okay, what? I don't understand this difficulty level. They have walk-on, starter, and all-American. I guess what would be the easiest? Would be the easiest one here? Walk-on, I guess.
Yeah, that would have to be.
Okay, because they. Okay, game speed normal, fatigue on, whatever. Injuries, no tutorial. I don't care. Back. Okay, so let's see. Quick start. ESPN sponsored this. That's got ESPN logos. Okay, so I put quick game and it just kind of threw me into. I'm Virginia Tech against the UTEP Miners. I think I should be UTEP and see if I can beat the Hokies once again and embarrass them virtually. Controller, yeah, I'll be a UTEP right now and see what happens.
I give brownie points to whoever can.
There's already a spelling error. The Hokies, or a grammatical error. The Hokies is gearing up for a huge game. So this is already looking really good. The Miners secondary will want to help Virginia Tech's air attack grounded today. Okay, there's already grammatical errors in this game. This is probably why. Okay, heads or tails?
Let's leave that to the audience here. Do we want heads or tails?
Let's go Miners. Let's beat Virginia Tech. Let's embarrass them once more.
Anyone?
I should just grab a coin and flip it myself. Bueller. Hold on, let me grab a coin and flip it myself. And whatever it lands on is what I'll choose.
We have 2 votes for tails.
Alright. So, let's see.
Let's see if the power of Twitch makes this thing fall on tails.
It's tails? Alright.
That's what they voted.
Tails. Let's go. Okay, so Vatek wins the coin toss. Which end zone? There's no win, so I guess it doesn't really matter. I'll just randomly pick one. Okay, so let's do some play calling. Shall we have a kickoff, or should we start with an onside kick just for the heck of it? Just really dig into Virginia Tech and just throw them off their game. We'll do a kickoff, and we'll do it right down the middle. Now, mind you, I have no idea what the controls are for this game, so we're just gonna have some fun with that. Although I'm assuming it's close to NFL 2K's control scheme, which I have played, and I think
Probably.
isn't NFL 2K5 is considered one of the greatest football games ever created.
Greatest sports games.
Yeah.
Not just football.
Yeah, until EA greedily bought the rights to the NFL license and kind of destroyed any semblance of us getting a good football game for the last
Precisely.
15 years after that. And really only 2K would be the one that could actually make a football game now if they chose to compete with EA.
Man, this menu system is trippy.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm used to it because I played so much NFL 2K when I had a Dreamcast, but damn it. Okay. So I don't know if you noticed, but when I play football games, I just do random stuff. But okay, so what kind of defense should I run? 5-2, 4-4, 3-4, 4-3, or how about a goal line just for the heck of it?
You'll probably get torched.
Okay, what should I pick?
If you do a goal
4-4.
line, I say go with the 3-4. That's
Okay,
just me personally.
3-4. Okay, well, I guess 3-4 gap right. We'll see what happens. And who am I? Oh, I got the sack.
Very nice.
There we go, number 44, whoever you were, DE, the defensive end, because they couldn't use their real names back then. Okay, so 3-4, 4-3, what should we call? A 3-4 again?
Sure, why not?
Gap right, fan, cross down, home, or shake.
You said fan was an option?
Yeah.
Try that one.
Fish 3, mesh man. I guess we're going with mesh man. Couldn't do it fast enough. Second and 12. 4:20 left in the first.
Nice.
4:20. There we go. I knocked that thing down. Okay, I'm getting used to it a little bit. Just gotta find the controls. So 3-4, 4-3, 5-2. Let's go with the 5-2, just for the heck of it.
Oh my god.
Twist left, twist right, switch loosey, gap right. Okay, we'll do that. And third and
I don't think I've ever seen a 5-2 run in real life.
Yeah.
If anyone can think of that, let me know. And
there we go. All right, 4th and 7.
Wow, I'm impressed.
See, they weren't expecting it. That's why. Okay, so
5-2 is you have 5 guys on the line of scrimmage and then 2 linebackers.
Okay.
Which is
where's
you're basically blitzing when that happens.
crap. Wait, where's my punt return play? There it is. There we go. Yeah, this menu is kind of weird to navigate. I kind of forgot how it was. I haven't played any sort of... Why aren't you there? Oh, yeah, it's going on. Okay. 1st and 10. Okay. I wonder if anybody can line up, like, who was number 38 back then and playing for Virginia Tech in 2003. I'm sure... Is there a college football reference website?
Probably.
Oh. Okay, my offense, what should I run? Rocket Twin Silver? I like the way that sounds. Sometimes I just pick plays just because they sound fun. Ah, crap. I got sacked. I wasn't ready for that.
This is 2K3.
Yeah. Good job, defensive end number 83. Okay.
This was released in 2002.
Yeah, for the 2002-03 season.
Right, so that would mean that they're using 2001 rosters. 0102 rosters.
Oh, gosh. This is bad. You know what? I'm just going to let the computer play, because I am just terrible at this right now. Let's see if the UTEP can pull off the upset.
What was that guy's number, the defensive end?
Which one?
The guy that you were trying to...
Number 83.
Number 83 was in fact a defensive end. His name is Nathaniel Adibi.
Oh, did he make it? Did he ever get drafted, or?
Let's see. He was a redshirt sophomore at the time.
Wow.
Would mean that he graduated into the 03-04
you gotta love the internet. We can find obscure college football players in a 15-year-old PS2/Xbox/Nintendo GameCube game released by Sega. By the way, this is when 2K games were published by Sega. Okay, that's how long ago this was.
Nathaniel Adibi did in fact, well, he was at least, let's see, game logs.
Was he at least on a practice squad?
he played one game with the Indianapolis Colts.
Okay. Hey. Ooh. Okay, UTEP is holding their own right now. 2nd and 12. That defense is stifling Virginia Tech right now.
I think.
By the way, is that the way the Virginia Tech Stadium looks?
That's how it looked back then.
Oh. I just want to know just if that was actually accurate, not just some generic college football stadium.
It looks a lot different now.
As a Seminoles fan, I don't pay attention to the way the other ACC... What happened?
A Flimicon said, "Shit, that's more games than I've played with the Indianapolis Colts." that is very true. That's very true.
God. Oh, by the way, I gotta look at the Captain Andrew Luck Twitter account. I haven't looked at it lately, so I gotta look at his last posts. Let me see. Captain.
Fact about our friend here, Nathaniel Adibi. His younger brother Xavier played on the Hokies at the same time as him.
Okay.
And he played actually more than one game in the NFL.
This is great. I just picked some random defensive end on Virginia Tech from 2002-03, and we're learning so much about his life. Does he have kids? Is he married?
I don't know.
Does he, what?
Actually, no. He didn't play together. They didn't play together. He started the year.
How do you spell his name?
Well, Nathaniel.
Okay.
Adibi.
Okay, Nathaniel Adibi. Okay, so yeah, he does have an NFL.com profile.
His younger brother started playing the year.
You know, it's. I mean, his. Let's see. Can I find his? Yeah, I see Xavier right here, and Xavier played more seasons in the NFL.
Right.
He played for the Houston Texans from 2008. I guess he was drafted by the Texans from 2008 to 2010. And then he went to Minnesota, and then he was on the practice squad for Chicago and Tennessee in 2012. And then he retired.
I wonder what they're up to now.
I mean, I can't find a Wikipedia entry for Nathaniel. Okay, I mean, we can learn about Xavier. Personal life: Xavier's older brother Nathaniel was a standout defensive end for the Hokies. Their father, Abiodun, I'm just gonna say it the way a Hispanic person would say. Abiodun Adibi was a college soccer player at Oklahoma State and is a professor at Hampton University. Look at that. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Here's an interesting note. Adibi, the one that's on the team right now, played with Marcus Vick. My bad. That's Michael Vick's brother.
Yeah. So it's all in the family right now. We're learning about the Adibi brothers and the Vick brothers. Just lots of Virginia Tech history right now before the travesties. I gotta get my digs in because Florida State lost to them this season already. So,
yeah.
what was it? I mean, this is back when they were in the Big East, so that's another thing.
Their father is a biochem professor.
Ah, cool. So yeah, so this would be the 03 season, I guess he was in. So his senior year.
They're saying that this is
the 02 season.
This is the 2002.
Yeah, that's right, because they released the naming conventions the season for that season prior.
Right, so they're more than likely using
the 02.
Even 01 rosters.
Yeah. Ah, that's right.
No, it would be 02. Yeah, it would be 02 rosters.
So, let's see. We've got. I'm trying to look at his stats. Right here, Nathaniel DB stats. He played 14 games in 2002. And that's it. I'm looking at sportsreference.com for college football, and I just see he had one punt return for 30 yards. And that's it. Yeah, no, it's okay. I mean, who else was on this Virginia Tech squad? Who is the quarterback, number 11? Who's that guy?
You pull that up?
Because I just saw his face. I don't even know if that's his actual face. It might just be some random generic face that they have for each player on this game.
That would likely be Grant Nowell.
They have cheerleaders in this for some reason. So, that's...
Grant Nowell was number 11, quarterback.
Okay. So, Grant Nowell. How do you spell that? N-O-L-E? Or N-O-L-L?
N-O-E-L, like Noel.
Oh, Noel. Okay. Grant Nowell is a former American football quarterback who played college football at Virginia Tech. He was given the job of replacing dual-threat quarterback Michael Vick when he left early for the NFL. Gosh, that's all he's known for, is the guy who replaced Michael Vick. But he had a successful year, leading the team to an 8-4 record. However, this is considered lackluster when compared to the 11-1 record the Hokies had the last 2 years with Vick. He was blasted by fans on internet message boards after the Hokies lost 4 of their last 6 games. This okay?
Wow, I can't even imagine what the message boards would look like back then. We're talking.
Gotta look at the Wayback Machine.
We're talking like over 12 years, almost over 15 years ago.
Yeah. Despite his above-par play, fans blamed him for the Hokies' poor performance at the end of the 2001 season. He finished the season with 1,826 yards on 146 of 254 passes with 16 touchdowns. Okay. Noel is now a sales consultant for Globus Medical. So,
this is very fun of Flimicon.
Yeah.
I get this feeling, and I actually would not be against this. This is going to turn into like a weekly research project.
I mean, no, this is actually fun. We're learning about these guys. I mean, I'm looking up Globus Medical, which I had no idea was a thing. And they're based in Audubon, Pennsylvania, and they're a medical device company focused on the design, development, and commercialization of musculoskeletal implants to promote healing in patients with spine disorders. Holy crap. They're turning people into cyborgs. This is awesome. Seriously.
You know the only reason they're doing that is because they want these cyborgs to come back and play for Virginia Tech.
And they'll find a way to lose the Old Dominion regardless.
Exactly.
Oh, wow. Okay, this is cool. Okay. This Globus Medical, they earned, their revenue was $635 million in 2017. And they employed 1,200 people, so they're creating jobs. Yeah, this is awesome. Holy crap! I mean, and you know, there's a lot of there's a thing. Okay, on Deadspin, every once in a while they have like, especially for baseball players, they have like a segment called "Let's Remember Some Guys," and so they basically just go into, you know, they look at some, I don't know, some random baseball cards or whatever, and just like, oh, I forgot this guy existed and played for this obscure Montreal Expos team of 1987. And he played for a season as a reliever or something. You know? Mm-hmm. Like for some, okay, like today I was at work, and for some reason it popped into my head, you know, Vic Derensburg played for the Florida Marlins at one point. And then I had to look. Yeah, exactly. You don't know who the heck he is, but I know who the heck he is because I'm a Marlins fan, and I'm just like, I wanted to know what Vic Derensburg was up to. He played for the Marlins from 98 to 2002, so he was there for the horrible years before they won. And then he got traded for Juan Pierre to the Colorado Rockies. So it's thanks to him that we got one of the pieces for our championship. So I thank you for Vic Derensburg. I almost called him Dick Varensburg for some reason, but for being the trade chip that got us Juan Pierre. So if he's ever out there, just to let you know, someone remembers you, dude. Yeah, someone remembers you. I think
I'm actually looking at a picture of Lane Stadium. That's where Virginia Tech plays, from 2000, so fairly accurate.
That stadium's new from 2000?
Oh no! From what it looked like in 2000.
Oh, okay. I'm like
decently accurate for.
Honestly, how many college football stadiums are not new?
Are not new?
Yeah, because like
not new.
Like most college football stadiums are like ancient.
Yeah.
Like, there's only like a handful of like brand new college football stadiums out there. I think.
I mean, UCF's was built going on 12 years now.
Okay, but how old is the program?
Started in 79.
Oh, okay. It's not
so,
like. Not like one of the, like FIU, you know.
Well, define new. It says a Flemicon.
I guess this millennium.
Well,
yeah, how many football stadiums are built this millennium? Let's say.
I can look that up for you because I've spent way too much time on this Wikipedia page.
Wow. Because I can't think of any that were made after. I mean, because. And I guess you don't really hear about them as, like, compared to...
There are a lot of stadiums that were built within this millennium.
Oh. But for like, any major programs or any programs I would have heard of?
Let's see.
Because, like, the Hurricanes moved into Hard Rock Stadium this millennium. I know that, but Hard Rock was built in 1987.
Let's see. How many... Do you include the year 2000 part of this millennium?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15,
Okay.
16.
Yikes! It's more than I thought.
Out of 130, out of 130 FBS.
Oh, okay.
Out of 130 FBS schools, although 2 of those they share with a pro team. That would be Temple shares it with the Eagles, and Pittsburgh with Pittsburgh.
With the Steelers, yeah. Yeah, and the Hurricanes share with... Oh, yeah, that's right. They play at Heinz Field. Heinz Field was built this millennium. That's right.
Although, and you know this, but Joe Robbie Stadium was built in the 80s.
Yeah. But essentially that building is like a brand new building at this point.
More or less, yeah.
Because having been there for so many Marlins games and the occasional disappointing Dolphins games, that place is like it's a completely new building. It's essentially a completely new building. Like what they basically stripped the outside of it, left the skeleton of the stadium, and built everything new on top of it. Because all the seats are new. The concourses are wider and more open. Like every single thing that you would want in a new stadium is there now. And it's come a long way from I remember the last home game I went for the Marlins before they moved into their stadium right now. The place was just, that was at the kind of like the first phase of their renovation, but it was just merely just widening parts of the concourses, and that was it. But now it's, the canopy, the new screens, the new seating. Like, they moved the seats closer to the field because there's no need for such a wide field space, because there's no baseball team anymore. So they could get rid of a ton of the foul territory that the Marlins used to occupy, and it's great. I kind of wish I had a press pass for one of those teams so I could see like what's going on behind the scenes, just to look, because that's kind of one of the perks of having a press pass. It's just you get to see all that stuff underneath. It's not that impressive, but it's kind of cool when you see how they run things behind the scenes for any sort of sporting event. Because I've been to like for the Panthers, just some big games that they touchdown. Okay, what the? Oh yeah, that's right. The Hokies have a god awful mascot. I mean, it's a turkey, really.
Which I've never quite understood, but
God,
college makes no sense sometimes.
Well, a lot of.
Oh wow, that was just a.
You saw that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think UTEP's gonna do it. God, that kicker just looks rough. That's his face. Oh boy.
Yikes.
Yeah, he just did he miss that? Or did he get it? Did he make the extra point? He's kind of smiling there. Or was it? Not even sure. I think he missed it.
Yeah, he missed.
Okay. That's awesome. Okay, this is a very accurate football game.
What was his number? 49?
Number 49. The kicker?
The kicker.
Number 49. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, find out who this guy is so we can rip on him for missing a extra point attempt in a obscure video game.
Carter Worley.
Does he have a Twitter account? Just start trolling the guy. Just like, yeah, just send him DMs. Like, how could you miss that kick? Against UTEP of all teams.
Apparently, he is now a sales specialist for Nuvasiv.
All these guys are sales specialists, consultants, or whatever.
Although he did play pro football for a time, both in the NFL and the Arena Football League.
Okay. The Arena Football League. That still does it still exist?
Yes, it does.
I think there's only like 2 teams left or something, but
there are 4 teams.
Okay, if you have only 4 teams in the league, it's not a league anymore. Right?
I would agree, although...
Like, come on. Like, okay, we're going to face those guys over there, and they're going to face those guys, and we're going to face those guys again. And how long is that going to happen? Like, before you can determine who's the best out of those 4 people?
Let's see what Nuvasiv is.
Like, I know the NHL only had 6 teams for the longest time. But...
Nuvasiv is...
It was the highest level of their sport. Whereas the Arena Football League is... I don't know. What would you call it? The single A of football? If football had a minor league program. It's like the NFL is the Pro League. The CFL would be number 2.
I was actually going to get around to that, Mikey. The team that ended up winning the Arena Bowl, which is their championship, went winless in the regular season.
Oh my god. Yeah, see, another reason why you can't even call it a league anymore. Like, I remember when the Arena Football League, like, weren't, like, was it the Orlando Predators?
Mm-hmm.
Weren't they, like, super popular at one point? Or at least super good? Like, one of the better teams in the league?
Yeah, they were, yeah.
Because there was the Orlando Predators, what was the Tampa team?
The Storm.
The Tampa Storm. Jacksonville had a squad too, right?
Yep.
The Sharks?
I can look that up.
Or something like that. I know Miami had like a brief flirting with one of those teams sometime. I think there was like the Miami Hooters or something. It was like sponsored by Hooters. So they were called the Miami Hooters. And I think they either played at the Miami Arena or at the BB&T Center.
Good research here from Mikey. In 2007, they had 19 teams, which was the highest they ever had.
Yeah, that's when I remember tuning in to some arena football games. I mean, for me, there's something appealing about. Who was it that was a graduate of the Arena Football League that made it big in the NFL? Kurt Warner, or was he
Few people.
Kurt Warner, or was he a CFL guy? Kurt Warner.
I'm not sure. Hey, you were right. It was the Jacksonville Sharks.
Ah, see, that's because one of my friends from Florida State, his name is Colin, but he's just a huge Jacksonville. Like, he's born and raised. He's Duval till he dies. You know, he is I wished him the best of luck when the Jaguars went to the AFC Championship. You know.
You were also right. Kurt Warner did play in the AFL.
Ah, see, I'm not that far off. That's because I was a huge Kurt Warner fan when I was younger. Like, who couldn't? Like, come on. Like, wasn't he like bagging groceries at one point? You know. Then he's the greatest show on turf. Those Rams teams. Gosh. Man, I remember that. I used to draw those guys in middle school. Mm-hmm. I would draw football players. Like, I would just like, I feel like drawing Tiki Barber today, and I would just draw them like that.
I would draw baseball stadiums.
Yeah.
I would come up with these cool designs for like the outfield dimensions and stuff. Probably made dozens of those.
I just realized that the UTEP Miners, the T in their logo is a
pitchfork.
Yeah, I
No,
thought it was a
pickaxe.
pickaxe. Yeah,
Exactly.
pickaxe. Yeah, there you go.
You just realized that now?
Yeah, I completely ignored the fact that it was a T. It was representing the T.
Quick trivia for you. What does UTEP stand for?
University of Tennessee? No, Texas El Paso?
Correct.
There we go. Texas El Paso. There we go. Yeah, it makes sense. UTEP. That's right. Was it yeah, so yeah, he's a huge Jacksonville, he was upset when the Jacksonville Suns changed to the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp.
I was upset when that happened.
But now he's, he bought the hat, so I guess he's okay with it now. It's still the same franchise. It's just, and honestly, I kind of like the fact that they changed to something more nautical because they're an affiliate of the Marlins.
Well, hang on, Flimicon. Francisco here is not the college football expert that we are, so let's give him a hard one. See if he can.
Oh God. What team? Whatever. This is still in the third quarter. Sheesh.
Mikey came up with UTSA. That's the University of Texas at San Antonio.
Oh. It's not the University of the TSA or whatever. It's where they train them to not keep us secure.
Mm-hmm.
I've traveled a lot this year because of my job, so I'm kind of sick of TSA.
Although you should be. Sorry, I didn't mean to steal your thunder.
What?
I never get to fly, so I'm kind of envious of you that you're flying all the time.
I only fly to go to work and then I have to leave the city right away.
I know, but I like going on planes.
Yeah, I guess. But, well, nah.
Okay, here's a good one. UNLV.
Oh, UNLV? The freaking Nevada, Las Vegas.
Correct.
Yeah.
Bonus points if you know their mascot.
Aren't they the Lobos?
No.
Or is that Nevada?
That's New Mexico.
Oh, New Mexico. Gosh darn it. UNLV. They're not like Raiders or something, or Rebels or something.
Rebels. That's
it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Not that far off. Yeah, UNLV. Because I know because of college basketball and I guess the NBA too, because they have their summer league at the UNLV arena. That's how I know that. And I think that's where they had the All-Star game that one year, where Pac-Man Jones made it rain in Las Vegas.
Mascot of UL Lafayette.
I don't even know that. University of Louisiana Lafayette. I don't know. I have no idea. And the only reason I know it's Lafayette because it is University of Louisiana because it sounds like something from Louisiana.
Flimicon, do you want to take this one?
I thought you were gonna say it was like a flamingo. I'm like the flamingos. Who won this game? Oh, the Panthers won. 3-2. Preseason.
I told you that.
I guess I didn't really hear you.
Take a look at the chat right now. You'll see the ULL mascot.
Let me see. Actually, let me pull it up on my phone so I don't have to exit the game. I don't think UTEP is going to do this, guys. I mean, it's been 13-0 for the longest time. You know what? Virginia Tech should be winning by more, so it's still a disappointment. Yeah, they should be winning by more.
Should be at least 35-0.
Which you said the stream chat? Oh, NIU. Gosh.
Well, look
I got it. That's something popping up now. NIU, Northern Illinois.
Correct.
I mean, the Seminoles just faced them.
Right.
So that's how I remember
Plus,
that.
you played them in the Orange Bowl.
Yeah, a few years back. Yeah, I remember that.
But yeah, ULL, the Ragin' Cajuns.
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, that's another. Okay, so have you ever been? This is like a question. Because most sports fans just go to their team's home games. But have you ever been to the away team's stadium to watch your favorite team?
Yes and no.
For like any sport.
Like I said, yes and no. Because back when I was at FIU, UCF came down to play.
Yeah, that's right.
So
that's one. That counts.
I technically.
I mean, that counts if you were,
I was wearing UCF gear.
Yeah, exactly. So that counts.
The security guards gave me a hard time because I entered using my student ID while I was wearing UCF stuff.
Yeah, well, most FIU students are UM fans anyways. So. Yeah, so FIU, and then what else? You haven't been to a Panthers Lightning game here, have you? I don't think so.
Yes, I have.
Oh, okay. That was the other one?
That was the one where the whole crew of us went.
That was a Lightning game?
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was a Red Wings game.
No, well, one of them was.
Red Wings game, and then that's right. We did that more than once. Okay.
You've only been to one college football game, Mikey?
Really? I mean, I can't say it because I went to Florida State, so I've been to more than one, obviously. But I think the one game where I went as an away fan of any sport was the Hurricanes Seminoles game a few years back.
Oh, right.
Like 2013 when it was down here in Miami.
I did go to a UCF Miami baseball game. I think it was last season.
Okay.
And then I went to a UCF FIU softball. It's much more compact. Unlike FSU, where it's like it takes up the entire city.
Well, let's see. Florida State. I mean, Tallahassee. It is kind of structured, centered around the capital and Florida State.
Right.
And then FAMU is off to the side somewhere. But yeah. Florida State kind of just takes up that entire central portion of Tallahassee, and then the rest of Tallahassee is just homes and stuff.
Here, quickly look up UCF's satellite picture. And
Did this guy miss another kick, number 49? I think you just did.
We really need to.
I gotta find his Twitter account and really rip him.
Really need to haze him now.
Okay, so I'm looking at a satellite image of UCF, and okay, I see what you're talking about. Everything's kind of, all the buildings are kind of pointed towards the center.
Right.
Okay, I see how it is.
Oh, and we have one more nickname for you, SMU.
Southern Methodist.
Correct.
Yeah.
Not bad.
I mean, that was because of the 30 for 30.
Oh.
When they got the band hammer.
Mikey, can you confirm that UCI is in a concentric circle design? I've only just seen it on the internet, like news stories about it. I can just look up a satellite image of it.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Yeah, kind of the same. Everything's kind of pointed towards the center of this thing called Aldrich Park.
But what makes that handy, that circle design, is it's easier to kind of cut across campus. And plus, if you get lost, well, you just walk around in a circle and you'll get back to where you were. It is really too bad that the Anteaters and the Banana Slugs aren't football teams. I think the same could be said for Park in the Center, in a road for bikes and walking, then buildings,
and a road for anyone in golf cars, and
the rest of campus.
Huh.
UCF's the opposite. All the parking is on the outside.
The Anteaters and Banana Slugs aren't football teams. Gosh. You know, one of the things that I'm surprised that there aren't more dinosaur-based teams. Gosh.
Yeah, actually.
There's a lot of cool dinosaurs out there. Oh, touchdown, Virginia Tech.
So that makes it, what, 20?
It's 19-0. Yeah, and most likely the kicker's going to miss the point attempt. He's been missing all day. I wouldn't put it past him if he misses this kick.
Man, Mikey, your student body is a bunch of nerds.
You see, I could have had a football team way back in the day, but the student rep voted for a library. Okay. I mean, okay. He missed the kick. He missed the kick. I'm not joking. He missed the kick again. Wow.
5 libraries?
5 libraries. I guess one is a regular student library, then I guess
I guess.
like a law library, maybe a medical library.
UCF has 1 library.
Yeah.
For, well, I don't want to say the 64,000 because that's sort of inaccurate because not all 64,000 are on campus.
Mm-hmm.
Huge ass portion is international students that doesn't give a shit about the school. Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah. I mean, gosh.
Actually, UCI has a new law school, well, relatively new.
I mean, that's the kind of the allure of these college sports is that you go to the school and, you know, you make your connections, your friends, you know, and then, you know, you find some friends for life at these schools, you know, at colleges, you know, like you know, I went to Florida State, not FAU. FAU didn't really make any friends for life there. That's because it was a master's program. They were all just kind of like adults. Not that I'm not an adult, but more adult than me.
It's your undergrad.
Yeah, and then law school was kind of like high school and undergrad all over again in a sense.
I agree with you on that one.
People were just kind of connected with each other again, and
I think the big reason why is our class size was just incredibly small. The school itself was small.
So yeah, you could connect with people more. So, but it just kind of fosters that kind of. I think that more than anything is why people like college sports. It kind of just ties them to if you went to the schools, if you didn't go to the schools, then you're there for more the fan aspect, and because that's also a thing, because these programs have been generations upon generations for years and years. So if you ever become a fan of one team, you'll instantly become part of this massive group of people. Like, I wasn't a Seminoles fan until I went to Florida State, but then, as soon as I went full garnet and gold, it's like, hey, there's, a couple 100,000 other people who are full on garnet and gold,
Right.
So that's the cool thing. And, like, I remember my experiences just going to the games with friends and stuff like that, having whatever fun before the games, and then like, and even after I graduated, just like even now, like last Sunday, or not last Sunday, or like that when we lost to frickin' when Florida State lost to or almost lost to Samford. I remember calling my sister, and she's like, "Did you see that?" We're just like so disappointed. It's like, yeah, it's like, I can't believe them. What the heck? What is wrong with them? Like this last Saturday was we went out to have dinner for my birthday, but my brother-in-law, Mississippi State fan, was just like, I could see him looking at the game on his phone as the Bulldogs were about to lose to the Wildcats, and you could just see, like, as the game went on, especially that fourth quarter, you could see his facial expressions going from like surprise to just sad. Because you just kind of have these connections and whatever. But it's almost midnight, so
I think we should let the game wrap up and then call it an evening.
Yeah, got a minute 43. See if UTEP can make it an interesting game at the end. It doesn't look like it because they're about to punt.
I don't know, Mikey. Baseball did fairly well this year. I mean, I think that, or maybe it was a couple of years ago, but I know they made it into the D1 tournament. He's talking about basketball and baseball for UCI.
Yeah. Who needs Idaho anyway? Oh gosh, team builder. Nice. Wow, nobody wants one. I'm surprised we have basketball and baseball. Wow. That must be, because I remember. Was it? Didn't we? Was it? One of our.
What? Huge X on number 7's back.
I don't know. Was it the number 7 for who?
Vatek, Virginia Tech.
Maybe they're like, this isn't Michael Vick. Was it? we don't get any news on. That's why I was. Remember, I asked. We had a classmate who went to, who came from California.
Oh yeah. She went to Fullerton.
Cal State Fullerton. She went there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, and we kept asking her like. I remember asking her like, "What are you guys?"
Titans.
Yeah, or something like, "What do you guys have? What's out there?"
The only reason I know that is because they had a decent. We have a baseball team.
The response would be, "We have a baseball team." Gosh, it's basically the response down here in Miami with the Marlins.
Yeah, the only reason I know that they're the Titans is because they were in the College World Series back when I was in middle school.
Yeah.
That's how I know most of these obscure colleges is by their sports teams.
No, that's true. Like, I wouldn't know a lot of these schools. I wouldn't even know some of these companies in bowl games. Like,
Actually, I wouldn't have known FIU existed had UCF not played them in football.
Like the Tax Slayer Bowl. I'm like, there's apparently Tax Slayer is a thing, and they have a bowl game.
They used to have the Bad Boy Mowers Bowl, which was the bowl formerly known as the Bitcoin St. Petersburg Bowl, formerly known as the Beef O'Brady's Bowl.
Yeah, I remember the Beef O'Brady's Bowl.
Formerly known as the Magic Jack St. Petersburg Bowl.
Oh my god. And it's all played at beautiful Tropicana Field.
Well, it's now known as Gasparilla Bowl, and it's now being played at Raymond James.
Oh, okay.
So, bye-bye Tropicana Field. And soon it'll actually really be bye-bye.
Yeah, that's true.
Player of the game is number 7, the running back, which I will look that up right now.
10 seconds left. Take one last knee. Well, there's not really a reason to take a knee, but he did it anyways. And that's it. So, the Virginia Tech 19-0.
Kevin Jones.
20.
So Kevin Jones, our player of the game.
Virginia Tech is ranked number 20 in this game. Let's see, there were 8 first downs for Virginia Tech. The third down percentage on the side of UTEP, so, they got something out of this. -7 rushing yards. Okay.
Hey, Mikey, I remember that. UCF made a huge deal about that when we played you in basketball. UCI had a 7'6" basketball player a couple of years ago, and UCF also has a 7'6" basketball player. So we played them for I think it was our home opener, and it was. I can probably pull up a picture of that.
Nice. Okay.
So it was 2 of the tallest basketball players in history, not just in college, but in any
wow, look at this
level.
So let's see, we got we can organize this by conference. Cool. So this is back when Maryland was in the ACC. NC State,
long time ago.
North Carolina, Virginia, Wake Forest, Clemson, Duke, Florida State, Georgia Tech. Okay. The Big 12, Iowa State, Kansas State, Missouri.
Both of them missed the tip-off.
Nebraska, Oklahoma, OSU, Texas A&M.
Now in the SEC.
Yep. Texas Tech, Baylor, Colorado. Okay.
Now in the Pac-12.
Yep.
Missouri.
The Big East. Okay.
No longer. Well, it does and it doesn't exist.
Yeah. Miami.
Now in the ACC.
Pittsburgh. Rutgers. Syracuse. Temple. Virginia Tech. West Virginia. Boston College, who's also another ACC team. The Big Ten, Illinois.
All but one of those teams is no longer in the American Athletic Conference, which is the successor. That's crazy.
Indiana, Iowa, Michigan, Michigan State, Minnesota, Northwestern, Ohio State, Penn State, Purdue, Wisconsin, Illinois. Okay. And then Conference USA, Louisville.
Now in the
ACC.
Yes.
Memphis, Southern Miss, TCU.
Now in the Big 12.
Yeah. Tulane.
American.
Alabama, Birmingham.
Still in CUSA.
Army.
Still independent.
Cincinnati.
American.
East Carolina.
American.
Houston.
American.
Yep. Then you got independent here. You have Navy, Notre Dame.
Now in the American.
South Florida.
American.
Troy State, Utah State.
Which is now known as just Troy.
Yeah.
And they're in the Sun Belt.
Connecticut.
American.
Yeah. Then the MAC, Northern Illinois.
Still there.
Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
Toledo. Western Michigan. Akron. Ball State. Bowling Green. Who doesn't have a green helmet, which makes me sad. Buffalo. UCF.
Bet you didn't know that.
There they are with the old logos.
I can't wait to see it on screen. In case so you guys know,
we're gonna do this again. This is actually fun. I want to see these NCAA because
my screen is delayed from what he's seeing.
So UCF, Central Michigan.
They used the Pegasus logo?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, they did.
That's our academic logo. That's never been our athletic logo. That's odd.
Eastern Michigan.
I as much as you're disappointed that Bowling Green doesn't have green as their color, I'm more disappointed that Eastern Michigan is not the Emus. Think about it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
The EMU Emus. I mean, that'd be fantastic.
Kent State, Marshall, Miami of Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay. And then we got the Mountain West. Was it this?
That's curious. I'm curious to see who's still in the who was in the Mountain West.
You got San Diego State,
mm-hmm.
UNLV, Utah.
They're in the Pac-12 now.
Wyoming.
Still there.
Air Force. BYU.
They're independent now.
Colorado State.
Still there.
New Mexico. And that's it. Then you got the Pac-10, Oregon, Oregon State, Stanford, UCLA, USC, Washington, Washington State, Arizona, Arizona State, Cal. Yeah, that sounds about right.
There should be one more conference.
The SEC.
Oh, in that case,
Those
3 more conferences.
damn dirty Gators. Georgia, Kentucky, Louisiana State, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, South Carolina, Tennessee, Vanderbilt, Bama, Arkansas, Auburn. Okay. And then the Sun Belt. Idaho, Louisiana Lafayette, and it has the Raging Cajuns on the helmet. So, yeah.
Ooh, this should be interesting. Back then, Arkansas State was known. Maybe they hadn't even been in FBS at that point, but they were known as the Indians. There was a huge thing back in 2005 where a lot of teams that had Native American mascots.
They had to change or have to find, like, I know Florida State.
You came close.
Yeah, I mean, they just cut a deal with the Seminole tribe of Florida, which is different than the Seminole nation in Oklahoma.
The Oklahoman Seminoles were not thrilled.
Yeah, but they, at this point, they're kind of separate from the Florida.
Right.
Because Florida's Seminole tribe of Florida, and in Oklahoma, it's the Seminole Nation. So they're just, even though they're same lineage, but now it's just so many years that now it's just they're different entities.
Right.
And I know that because I took a Seminole history class.
Oh, really?
At Florida State, yeah, they offer that.
I guess that makes sense.
Louisiana, Monroe, Middle Tennessee State.
I guess it would be weird if FSU didn't offer Seminole history class.
Yeah. Middle Tennessee State. Who else is here? New Mexico State, North Texas, and then Arkansas State. And I think they do have their...
Yep, they were the Indians.
Yeah, there it is. They're on their logo. And then...
I have so much useless knowledge in my brain. I'm amazed that I was somehow able to get through law school.
That would have been the last season before Urban Meyer at Utah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Boise State, in the WAC, Fresno State, Hawaii, Louisiana Tech, Nevada, Rice, San Jose State, SMU, and Tulsa, and UTEP. And then that's it. Those are all the conferences.
Tulsa ranked the heaviest mascot in college football. There was an article on SB Nation by John Boyce where he ranked each of the mascots by weight, and he determined that a hurricane made of gold would be the heaviest mascot.
Okay, so, alright, I think I'm going to end this. I think we've had enough college football talk. This is fun, actually. I think I want to do this with, like, I have college basketball, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I do. So, can always do that one, too. And, obviously, NFL and NBA.
I don't want to say this out loud on the stream.
I see it right there, so don't worry. The whack. That's great. Yeah, I was looking at, because, like, you just see the teams and just, like, who's the cover of this?
I think one of you guys said it was Eric Crouch.
On the cover or I guess the cover athlete for this game? Nebraska, number 7.
I think it was Mikey who said it. I could be wrong, though.
Yeah, I should look for more of these old sports games.
Yes, please.
This NCAA whatever, NFL whatever, 2K 1, 2. I mean, there's just a lot of players that you just forget about. It is Eric Crouch, yeah.
See, I actually do see what you guys write. I may not respond, but I do see what you guys write.
Yeah, I'm looking at it too. Eric Crouch. Yep.
That's old school, man.
He is now a TV sports analyst and recreational equipment vendor. All these guys go into sales. You notice that? They all go into sales for what?
You know the reason why? I watched a couple of episodes of this show called Ballers.
Yeah, with The Rock.
Right. It's these, they hire these people because they know the populace knows their name. and it's like, hey, if I can buy something from Eric Crouch, then sure, absolutely. If that makes any sense. It's basically built-in marketing. Oh, look at this. OU is in this one. How fitting.
Alright, I'm gonna end this. I gotta wake up early, but we gotta do this again. Maybe and next time Andrew will probably be here in person, and we can actually play a game against each other with two controllers. And
I would look forward to that.
Yeah, and then play some of these old sports games. So thank you to the.
We had quite a few people here tonight.
Yeah. To Mikey and Aflemicon.
OU legend Jason.
You guys seem. He now sells OUSU memorabilia.
That's perfect.
That's great.
Well, at least on my behalf, I want to thank everybody who was here. This was fun, and I know this was just kind of a dress rehearsal, but
yeah,
I think it was a lot of fun.
I think, next time we can even ask Doug to come on in, and we can get his take. He has a lot of takes on football, that's for sure.
Doug is also one of our classmates, so he's also big into sports. So this is just kind of we started this as a way to kind of BS and talk about sports and have an excuse to play video games. But
yeah, and I'm finally getting the equipment to actually, have this stuff up and running and, looking good and nice. And, this may not be NBA 2K19, but I can't afford to buy that on my Switch right now because I can't afford the microtransactions.
But hey, I think nostalgia and old school is in right now, so I think this actually works to our favor.
Well, this is because I remember being like, this is when I was a kid, when I was in middle school, going to high school. Like, this is just the games of my childhood, and also when I was most fascinated about sports, when I thought these guys were man, I wish I could be these guys,
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, so take care, everyone. Good night.
Thanks again, everybody. Good night.